Okay, here we are for the second part of the tutorial of the auto-illuminated materials. So, in this tutorial I will properly light this scene by using a luminosity material for this light bulb here. So, let's begin. First of all, to create a proper lighting situation, I want to use material override, so I want to create a simple material. Maybe we can try with an advanced material, name it override. Okay, if the diffuse by 80% it can be good. And in my render settings, maybe we can try to create a new preset of render settings to set up the scene from scratch. I want to use quad situation for publish it on Instagram or something else by social network use. And in my render setting I want to activate my V-Ray bridge, go in here, and here I want to go to, let's maximize this one. I'm sorry, here in material override, activate it and put it here. Okay. Now, if I try to render it up this scene, sorry, 180. I want to decrease a bit my pixel in my scene for a quick test. I will have, if I render out this scene, as you can see, I will have the material that override all the material in my scene. Okay, this is a basic lighting of V-Ray. So I don't want it, so I go to my render settings, go to V-Ray bridge, and this in lighting, option lighting, default lights, I will turn it off. So if I render it up this scene, it will be rendered black, completely black, because we have no light in my scene. So okay, now it's time to create basic lighting for these bulbs. So I want to create V-Ray bridge advanced material, name it Luma, for example, deactivate diffuse layer and activate our luminosity layer. There we go. Decrease the amount of transparency of this layer to 0% because I want to have a completely luminosity material for my bulbs, and I want to apply it to these elements that are the filament of those neon bulbs. Okay, now I'm going to my render settings. In the material override I want to exclude this Luma material. So we can see if we done all right in our render, doesn't work. So maybe we can try to increase our Luma material to see better result in my scene. So direct illumination on, and let's try with 10. Okay, nothing happens. I think there's a problem of dialog from V-Ray to the simple material override in the basic settings of Cinema4d. So I want to uncheck this and see if we have a better result from it. Now I think yes. Maybe we can try to increase the power of this material for have a better result. So stop it. I wanna have more control of my scene, so I wanna have better results to this. So I want, maybe we can try to apply this override to this plane that's cover that also the biggest part of this scene, and see what happens now. Nothing happens. Or maybe we can try to increase the power of my material here. Enable shadow zone. Let's try to place it in that and see. Okay. After changing the power of my lamp, I have the correct exposure that I want. As you can see, my material can create a LED luminosity layer from the filament of my light bulb here. And as you can see, we have casted some shadows on our walls. I think it's a good start. Maybe we can try to add some ambient light on our scene to simulate a situation of night with light blue lighting scene. So stopping this render, I'm gonna create a simple V-Ray quad light. So go to lights, V-Ray bridge, lights, V-Ray rectangular lights, rotate it properly and put it up in a proper position that I want. So maybe like this kind of position. Reduce the size of my arrow light. And this maybe we can try with what? Maybe we can try with 200 for first test and see what happens. And for the light color I wanna light blue. Let's see what happens in our render. As you can see, if we compare with the previous render, we have reduced the darker part of the image, but I think it's too much and in power for this light, and maybe we can try to reduce a bit the increase a bit the color of this light, because it's too white again. So stop it, go in here, increase the saturation of my lamp, and maybe we can try it with 100 watts. Okay, I think we have right lighting. Maybe we can try to increase a little bit again the bluish tint on my area light. So I'm gonna stop it again, and let's try to increase the tint a bit to more bluish color, and maybe we can try with 50. Let's see what happens now. Here we are. I think the image is good. We compare it with by deleting these two. That was our test. Yeah. Also this one for clean up the scene. And I think it's a good start for our image. By increasing the contrast of lighting, I think we have to do a little tricks with our Luma, but first I want to stop the render and delete my override to see what it looks like with my concrete walls here. So let's see what happened in our end now. Here we are. As you can see, our concrete works very good, and also our lighting, it's more spread out. We have not ugly shadow here. That's because we have some differences in specularity and bump of this material, so I think it's very good. And for this kind of image, maybe we can try to increase a bit the color, the bluish color of the whole scene, and I think it's a good idea to change a little bit this kind of lighting. So I want to stop it, and I want to assign to my Luma material a little bit of warmish color to increase the contrast with the blue of my environment lighting. Increase this kind of light like this and see what happens. Okay, as you can see by this first preview of this image, I have more bluish here, and also my light is more realistic with this color that simulates the light of an incandescent bulb on my scene. I'm pretty happy with it. So after the first layer of this progressive render is done, we can compare with the previous one. As you can see, we have a totally different look, and I think the last thing I want to do is increase a bit the power of this light to increase a bit the bluish color and give this for my scene a little bit of contrast, of more contrast. So stop it now, and I want to increase this to, maybe we can try it with 75 watts and see what happens. Okay, as you can see, I've lighted up, if we compare with the previous one, these parts and increase the bluish color of this area and this area too. And I think for me it's worked very well, and I think it's a good start to try with and experiment with this kind of lighting. So I think for me it's good image. The last thing to I will show you on this kind of render is the differences from this render. That is, for me, is cool because I see the filament of my bulbs, but in some case it will produce some aberration or an incorrect render, or for anyone else is not a good image. So I want to show you if in the similar situation, I will apply this Luma to all the bulb of my lamp. So I want to stop it, duplicate it, and I want to apply this to my glass. I can delete it, and let's see the difference from the two render. As you can see, the lighting is, for me, is not very realistic. I think it's there is a very difference from this image. As you can see, we have more soft lighting on the walls, and I think it's more CGI image than the previous one. But it's up to you to try and use what kind of tricks you want to use with this kind of material. I think to have a good image from this, we must increase a bit the power of these bulbs, but an advantage of this kind of lighting is more quicker than the previous one. As you can see, but that's because we don't have the glass that increase for a bit our render time. So maybe we can try two kind of tricks. The first one, I want to increase the power of this lamp by twice, maybe, and I think it's a good idea to increase a bit the color to compensate the increasing intensity of my lamp. And I want to try to use a lens effect on our V-Ray settings, the bloom one, and see what happens if I add this in V-Ray. So let's see what happens in our render. As you can see, the image is more good, but I think it's not very realistic then compared with the previous one. But it's up to you, like I said before. So if I stop it now, this render, if I stop render, okay, they do not do anything, so I want to check what kind of effort to produce this one when the system finished the render. So I'm going to my anti-aliasing, and in the progressive sample we can try with maximum render time of 0.5 minutes. So in 30 seconds we can see if happen things in our scene. Okay, nothing happens. This kind of system could be work like V-Ray frame buffer, so we can try to activate our V-Ray frame buffer window and see the difference on render on it. I wanna add our effects. And see the difference. Okay, as you can see, by rendering the image in the V-Ray frame buffer, I have also the bloom added on my light bulb. As you can see, I can pass through our RGB color and our bloom. Does not work very well. We can try to increase the power to see better, but this doesn't work very well in Cinema 4D. Okay, let's close this window, then window again, and I want to deactivate our lens effect here and see what happens if we render it up again the scene, and maybe we can control now the bloom effect with the V-Ray frame buffer. Okay, render is done. Okay, if we activate our bloom in V-Ray frame buffer, you can notice this kind of effect will be added on our scene, and now simply we can control it by increasing the power, size, and anything else. By decreasing the size, we can simulate better the incandescence of our light bulb. As you can see the differences. And also we have the glare effect, and we can try to play with it to create the image that you want to have. Now see. Okay guys, for today's video is all. So please follow me on YouTube and Instagram. Bye!